just wanted to get your thoughts on just training camp so far. I know it's early on in the cycle, but just what have you seen so far?
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. We've had 2 extremely competitive days, which is what Tyler and I were gunning for. You know, when we brought these players in to create a very competitive environment. So the energy has been perfect, and people have really been getting after it.
Yeah, no, I could tell. They went a little light today. I'm sure they probably needed that.
Yes. Yesterday was a long one.
So just your vision for this overall roster. We talked draft night. You talked about just your mindset and just putting this thing together. Are you pleased with everything you're just seeing so far?
Yeah, we're thrilled. You know, Tyler and I and the rest of the team put a lot of time and energy into, decisions. A lot of things happened, in the off season. A lot of changes were made, and we have a lot more balance and improvement that's been made to the roster, and now people are fighting for jobs. This is what you want.
So you have obviously Kamilla and Angel who are going to be the building blocks for what you guys are doing here. What have you seen from them so far, year 2, just kind of just that next step in their development?
Yeah, no, it's a good one. Definitely a lot more maturity, a lot more relaxed understanding of the game, the pace of it, the flow. And it's been 2 new coaching staffs, and they both adjusted quickly again because they come from winning programs in the past in college, and they've assimilated quickly. But they both had very good off seasons. Kamilla in China and Angel and Unrivaled, so they've grown as players. They're coming in shape, and they've impacted the both camp days quite a bit.
Yeah. We talked a second ago about the makeup of your roster. I feel like the veterans that you brought in, right, coming in with that winning championship type of DNA, was that something that was important to you?
Yeah, it was extremely important for us to bring in real vets to this group because we wanted balance on the roster. And whenever you're going to add a Vandersloot, you're going to bring real leadership, intensity, championship. You're going to bring a passion that most people don't have. And we brought in a number of other vets too, and we need them all. We wanted to have good balance in the roster. We're 36, all the way down to 22 years old, and we have good balance in between, but the vets have been terrific. Rachel has come back, Mariah's back, and then you add Akia, you add Rebecca Allen, Michaela's getting older now, 25, 26, and it's been really good, and the younger players have players they can look up to now.
No, yeah, Angel spoke today.
And a healthy Elizabeth Williams, right?
You heard him.
Yeah.
So you talked about Sloot. And it's so funny that when I think about your relationship and how you guys even came to even work together. So just wanted to get your thoughts on.
Right.
What's up, Angel?
Right.
I'm his favorite.
Sometimes.
Who's the second?
But see, that relationship you have from her, it evolved from just the player development side and your skills training work.
Right.
So now full circle, now she's back here. Can you just talk to us about just some of those conversations and just how that even came to be?
Yeah, look, I'm incredibly grateful. She took a chance on me in a new profession that I'm in right now. She changed my life in a lot of ways, when we came together and I started doing her skill work. I learned a ton from her. She met my competitiveness and passion for the game head on, and I finally had met my match, with the type of competitor I wanted to spend a lot of time with. So, we were putting a lot of hours in, every day a couple years back, and she went to New York. We were able to win her back over, with Tyler's help, and just having a player in here that's a future Hall of Famer that players really look to, who's always going to make the right decision, who's going to be passionate and still be an understanding leader. And I'm really impressed with how vocal she's been, and that's the role that she's going to have to take on every single day in here. But there's only one Courtney Vandersloot. She's as special as they come, and she's still going to exceed some expectations this year.
And because to that point, she's so even keeled, but I've seen just a different aspect of her so far in this camp. Is that why?
She's fired up. Yeah, she's got an edge to her. I think she's always had an edge to her. This is even a bigger one, but she only wants to prove stuff to herself. But I'll tell you right now, she's still got it. She's been absolutely terrific these last 2 days.
And then my last one for you. Speaking of Coach Marsh, you guys, you talked about it when you introduced him to the media, just that symmetry. You guys seem to work very well together, brought his dad on board. Just talk to me about just what you've seen from him so far.
Yeah, we knocked it out of the park with that hire. I am nothing without that man. So his attention to detail, his passion, his authenticity, everything we were hoping, when we were getting to know each other, has been tenfold, and just the conversations we're still able to have, and just his vision and mine aligned so much that we were able to see, days like this, and the conversations are endless, because we have so many great players here, and he's got so many great ideas. But just his attention to detail and his ability to command the gym, and players want to play hard for him already, and to me that's a very telling situation for him right now as a first-year head coach. The players are already coming in here going extremely hard for him.
Yeah, I've been hearing it.
Yeah.
Man, appreciate you again, Jeff.
You got it.